please multiply your coefficients and use the product rule to also multiply the inside. So if I have like the nth root of a times the nth root of b, it would become the nth root of a times b. You just multiply outside to outside, inside to inside. That's basically what I'm telling you to do, okay? Then please make sure that you simplify the resulting radical. Technically, you could simplify first, then multiply. I think Delta Math actually shows it like that. It doesn't matter. I just don't like to do it like that. I would rather simplify one time, not twice. So I usually multiply first and then simplify. So if you look at number 7, you're going to multiply 27 times 5. Can you do that? Do you have a calculator like I asked you to? Okay, get it out. 135. Okay, so that means that you now have to simplify this guy. What is this? You need the perfect square that 135 divides by. So figure that out. You need to look at your squares column. That'd be n squared. Take a moment, guess and check. There's only one, so find it. 135 divides by 9. Okay, so this splits up. I'm going to try and color code for learning. Square root of 9 times, when you divide by 9, you get 15. Okay, what is the square root of 9? 3. 3 root 15. Notice when I take the square root, the sign is gone. And there was no numbers in front, so that's all, folks. Okay, so multiply the inside numbers together. Simplify it. Of course it's going to get harder. Okay, so algebra 2. All right, look at the second one. There's a dot in between. Again, that means multiplication. You multiply the outside numbers to the outside numbers. So 2 times 5, 10. Okay, now you multiply the inside numbers. This is a cube root, so make sure you get that. It's a cube root of whatever 9 times negative 24 is. Yeah, negative 216. Don't lose negative. Okay, we have to simplify this now. So you're focusing on 216, and you need to look at the cubes column. I need the perfect cube that 216 divides by. 216. Okay, do you see that? Okay, do you see that 216 is in that column? Sorry, I see. This happened the other day, didn't it? Okay, I'm sorry. 216 is a perfect. I'm sorry. So. Wait, what am I doing? Guys, I don't know. We're not going to split this up. This is perfect. Okay. Wow. Okay. If you look at the column, you see 216 is a perfect cube. Evaluate, what is the cube root of 216? 6, like Eric said. I'm sorry. So it is perfect. But you can actually take the cube root of negative 216. We talked about this the other day. It's not 6i. It's negative 6. Because negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36, times negative 6 again is negative. You can take odd roots of negatives. So that would give me my final answer of negative 60. I evaluated the cube root of 216. Next one, you do not have a number out in front of the first radical, so there's like an imaginary 1 there, right? But really, you just need to know, okay, there's not a number there, so the 5 is just going to go out in front, and now I'm going to figure out what goes in the square root. So we're going to multiply 6 times 8. So multiplication, 48. Okay, when I have the same base and multiplication, I add my exponents. So I know that we're a little struggling on the exponent rules. You're going to see more of that today and tomorrow, so that should help. I add my exponents, so x to the 4th times x to the 5th is x to the 9th. All right, this guy's not done. Needs to simplify. This one does break down. Not going to mess you up this time. Okay, perfect square that 48 divides by. 16. 16 times, I think 3. Okay, now you're going to look at the power of 9. Remember that there's an index of 2. So you're asking yourself, does 9 divide by that index of 2 evenly? No, but go down. What's the closest one that would? 8. So you're going to break it up as x to the 8. This is perfect with how many left over? 1. Okay, now evaluate the square root of 16x to the 8th. The square root of 16 you know is 4. Remember there's an index of 2, so you're doing 8 divided by 2 gets me x to the 4th. And this stays 3x. If you're someone who's going to forget the 5 that was out in front, then maybe you keep it with it the whole time. I'm probably one of those people. I should probably keep it with it. So we have to multiply that by the 4, and your final answer is actually this, right? 20x to the 4th square root of 3x. So that's a lot of simplifying. This is what we've been trying to get better at, is simplifying with x's and variables. Can you try number 10, at least can you get this part on your own? Like there's no numbers out in front, so can you please try and figure out what's under the root on your own, or with the people at your table, right? So go ahead and multiply the numbers, multiply the variables. What would we get? Okay, 270, and then let's see, let's talk about the m. What do I do with my exponents since multiplication? Add m to the 8 plus 4, m to the 12th. You need to know what to do with the exponents, okay? Now we're going to simplify this because it's not perfect. At least 270 is not. So make sure you're looking at the cubes column, perfect cube that 270 divides by 27. 27 times 10. Okay, now you're asking yourself, well, does 12 divide evenly by 3? Yes, that means that m to the 12th is perfect. So I'm going to put it over there and evaluate it in just a second. So that's how I do it. Other teachers might do it differently. They might evaluate it right away. I just get confused, and I usually mess it up if I do that, so I don't. Let's evaluate it now. Your cube root of 27 is 3. And then you do the 12 divided by the 3. M to the 4th. Questions on that? This cube root of 10 stays. There was no numbers out in front, so you should be done. Again, can you try and get the first step for me on this next one? There's going to be a number out in front, and then times the 4th root of something. So can you please try and figure that out for me? Number times the 4th root of what? Do the first step. Outside to outside, 2 times 7. What's on the outside? 14. Okay, on the inside, you're multiplying, so you need to add your exponents. X squared times x to the 3rd is x to the 5th. This is y to the 1st times y to the 10th, so it's y to the 11th. Oh, that one's really kind of small. Okay, we're going to break this down. 14 is going to stay out in front. If you're going to forget about it, then maybe keep it there. Okay, 4th root of whatever's perfect, 4th root of whatever's left over. Is 5 divisible by 4? No, not evenly. What's the closest thing that would be? 4th, x to the 4th, with 1 left over. Is 11 divisible by 4? No, you need the closest. Go down. What's the closest exponent that would be? 8. So y to the 8th with how many left over? 3. Again, if you're going to forget about this 14, keep it out here. Take the 4th root now of that. So you're dividing your exponents by the index. So you have x to the 1st, y to the 2nd. This leftover one remains. You can just change it to x, y to the 3rd. The 14 should stay out in front. There's nothing to multiply by, so that would be it. Okay, so that's multiplying like just 2 radicals together. We're also going to do some distribution. Woohoo! We're going to do 3 of these examples, not all 4. So let's look at number 12. You've seen some stuff like this before. We've done it with x's and we've done it with i's. What do you think I should do with that square root of 10 that's out in front? I bet you know. Okay, yes. Remember that the numbers outside coefficients multiply together, inside radicands multiply together. So when I do here, it's square root of 10 times 5 root 5. So the 5 out in front, the coefficient doesn't have anything to multiply by, but you are going to multiply the square root of 10 times the square root of 5. That would give me the square root of 50. Okay, repeat. Again, there's no 10, the root 10 doesn't have anything out in front, so it's just negative 2. Then 10 times 2 will get me an inside radicand of 20. Outside multiplies outside, inside multiplies inside. All right, let's break this up, please. I'm not going to color code these the same, just because I don't want to get too crazy. Okay, the perfect, this is only square roots. Oh, easy. What's perfect square that 50 divides by? 25. 25 times 2, what about 20? Perfect square, it divides by 4 times 5. Okay, so I'm going to evaluate the perfect ones here. The square root of 25 is 5. This is simple. This should be similar to now what we've done with adding and subtracting. Square root of 4 is 2. Okay, remember that there was numbers out in front, so you should bring those down 5 times negative 2 times that. If the arrows are too chaotic for you, then don't do that on your paper. Okay, make sure you multiply to the number in front, so your final answer would be 25 root 2 minus 4 root 5. Are those like terms? No, they have different numbers, so don't try and combine them. What's next? Okay, 13, again, you know you're going to distribute. This is where you have to do 2 sets. Just a reminder. So I'm going to color code it accordingly. So we'd start right by, some of us might like to do the box method. I'll do that on the next one. I'm not going to do it on this one. But you could do the box method with this if that's what you like to do, okay? Just like you did with polynomials. So 8 times 3 is 24. Now you're going to do 8 times, okay, there's a negative out in front. That means it's a negative 1, just to clarify. So 8 times negative 1, root 10, is negative 8, root 10. Now we need to do the same thing where we're distributing the negative root 10. So this guy, again, there's a 1 out in front. So negative 1 times 3 and then root 10. So it's negative 3 root 10s. And then your last one, negative 1 times negative 1 would get me positive 1. And then what do I get when I do root 10 times root 10? 100. Do you see some like terms? Yeah, boy. In the middle. Negative 8, down 3 more. Careful, please. Would be negative 11 root 10. What do you get from the square root of 100? 10. Okay, you have some more like terms. 24 and 10. Usually you're going to put the constant out in front, so that would be 34 minus 11 root 10. That is your final answer. I'm going to do the box method up here. I know there are several people in this class who prefer that. So if you prefer the box method, by all means use it. You don't have to, if that's not how you like to multiply. But if I was going to do the box method, if that's helpful for you, then I would do it like this. So 6 root 6, and then this is negative 6 root 2. You need to make sure those go on the same side. So that would be That's this guy that I put over here. And then the second one is up here. So I'll put him up top. Root 6 plus root 2. I guess we don't need the plus sign. Goodbye. Okay. And then multiply all your stuff. Hold on, I'm going to rewrite that. Okay, make sure you multiply the outside numbers to the outside numbers, if there is one. And then inside to inside. So see if you can multiply that out. See if you're going to get you need to make sure you get the 4 terms. Correct? Try it yourself, though. Six root 36, positive 6 root 12, negative 6 root 12, negative 6 root 4. Remember, you've got root 36 there because you did 6 times 6. The 12s come from the 6 times the 2's, and the 4 comes from the 2 times 2. Okay, do you see some like terms? Yeah, what's going to cancel? These ones, right? That's convenient. So then you're left with just this. I'm going to rewrite it out. 6 root 36, it's being weird, minus 6 root 4. Okay, you know some of these are perfect. What's the square root of 36? 6. I'll put it in red. This guy we know is 2, so you're doing square root of 4 is 2. So you're actually doing, what is 36 minus 12? 24. And that's it. So this one goes down to a single number, which is why you need to make sure, like, if it can simplify or evaluate or something, you need to do that. Your assignment would be 18B. It's multiplying. Delta math. Also, can you make sure you have your perfect chart out? I'm going to have you add something.